Good evening and welcome to Western Reiki Association Presents Reiki Currents, a Reiki News Live talk show, interviewing Reiki wisdom holders with stories of hope and healing from around the world. I'm Stephen Vanderver, your host. The focus on Reiki is to spotlight one of the world's fastest growing self-care, spiritual, and personal development tools. Everyone can learn this calming, relaxing, and healing technique and channel universal life force energy. As we come to know that our universe and everything around us, including our physical bodies, is made entirely of energy, learning to effectively work with this energy is key. Reiki is a priceless addition to your personal spiritual development toolbox. María Esther Frigolé, First Dan Master Teacher, is our guest tonight on Reiki Currents. Maria is a Rainbow Reiki instructor, Reiki psychic, practitioner, and teacher of complementary and holistic healing modalities. She's based in Bahía Blanca, Argentina. Maria manages Rainbow Reiki Argentina and has worked closely with Walter Lübeck on several translation projects. An empath at a young age, Maria took on the suffering and worry of others and found herself confronted with profound questions such as, why do people die? On advice of a psychologist, Maria spent much of her time surrounded by other children. There was virtually no family or community support for Maria's spiritual leanings, so much of her childhood was very hard. Since 1998, Maria's received many trainings and realizations, and it was through one of her Reiki classes that Maria came into her psychic gifts. Thank you so much for being with us tonight, Maria.
Thank you very much for inviting me.
Yes, absolutely. Well, I like to start early on, and I know we talked a little bit in the pre-interview the other day. Let's talk about early on in the childhood where, you started to realize that you were different. Could you talk about that?
Yes. I started to feel other sorrows when someone had a problem, when I didn't like when people were crying or fighting each other, that I experienced like they were hitting me, so I suffered a lot, and I couldn't understand or tell anyone, what I was experiencing. So I used to cry a lot every time. So my parents took me to the psychologist, and she advised that I should go to kindergarten so I could play with other children and forget ideas or questions, because I started to ask why people grow up and they die, and I started to suffer because I didn't want to lose my parents, or that my sister got ill, or that anyone would be suffering illnesses. So that was okay. I enjoyed it, but I started to cry every night. So nobody knew. So that was very sad for me, because I couldn't share with anyone, even with my mother or my sister or my father. Then it came the time that I was 10. I got very ill. I got reuma, the infection in the bones. And I was taken to Buenos Aires, to the capital of the country. And there we met a man who asked me to sign up in a paper, and he said, you have to eat products derived from honey so you can clean your blood, and you have to repeat this sentence: may God give me strength from good. Every day, every time you go to school, when you come home, when you go to the bus. So I made this connection with God and didn't feel alone. So I started to release that pain, because I was all the time repeating that sentence. I didn't, of course, know that I was doing affirmation or metaphysics at that time, because now when I was 40, I knew that we could do that. But I started that at that time. Then I went to church. I started to assist to classes. I did communion, then confirmation. Then I joined a group. I needed groups, and I started to help people with these groups, and that was great for me. I started to want for example, to go to India, to join Mother Teresa Calcutta and help people over there. I wanted to be a missionary, but then I realized that I needed to become a nun. So I said, well, I think I won't be a good nun. So I left that idea. And then I started to feel a great connection with Jesus Christ. Mm-hmm. I started to feel that I wanted to follow his advice, to follow, to be more loving, compassionate, and to serve others like he did. So I spent very nice teenager time. Mm-hmm. That was quite good. But then when I finished secondary school, that I came again with this, what am I going to do with my life? What happens in life? So I started to go inside again. And I tried to follow another group where we learned about past lives, mm-hmm. reincarnation, karma, and also Jesus Christ's life, and how we could help humanity by being loving, compassionate again. And well, that was something I enjoyed a lot since childhood. So I was quite fine over there. Then I got married. I had my kid. Then when I divorced, again, I felt that church did not accept me because I was divorced. So I suffered a lot. Then I tried to overcome that situation, and I had the chance to visit India in 2001, and over there I met Sai Baba's ashram and met many people who told me again and again lessons of love, again compassion. So I loved that idea, and then I got a wider idea that we can reach God or something higher no matter which relation we have. Mm-hmm. So that was great for me because I love, for example, Sri Ganesha, the Lord. And so you say, well, you have Virgin Mary over there, you have Jesus Christ over here, and I say yes, and I love them because they make me feel so good, and they all give me something that I need. I don't know what I need, but I know that I feel comfortable and belonging to something that is my life. That's my place. Mm-hmm. So well, that's the way I grew up.
Yeah. Now let's talk a little bit about. I know you touched on the religious situation there, and that being more spiritual is something that you don't have a lot of support for around there. Could you talk a little bit about that? What's the religion, and what what have you had to struggle with specifically about following this path?
Yes. um, first I felt this rejection because I was divorced. So I didn't get so much rejection when I said I'm going to be a Reikist. But when you say I am going to be a Reikist, you suffer. I had that suffering before. But then I said, okay, but I love Jesus Christ, and I have to go to church sometimes because I feel good. So I was reconciliation. I didn't suffer anymore, and nobody were telling me anything, and I was quite fine. I always say that Reiki was my support. That was my environment. I got that strength. Then I started my practice as a Reikist, and I started to treat people from the church, Catholics, and they like me, so they don't judge. That's great, because they don't say, oh, you, but I've been in services where we were called satanic in our face, and that was very harsh to absorb. But in general, people are beautiful. Then I have my secondary school. My best friend is a priest now. So I say, oh my God, how can I look at him in the face? He won't show me his love, because I am divorced, and now I practice Reiki. So I said, it's better that I don't go, because I will suffer a lot. But then we are friends in Facebook, and he got also an interview where I was talking about Rainbow Reiki, and he was the first saying me, congratulations, dear friend. So I was extremely happy. Not all people, but there's a tendency. Then there is another kind of religion, evangelistic, like that. That's even more difficult, because I have friends of my age, old friends, and they speak, they tell me in my face that I get my powers from the devil. And now that I am getting stronger, that I'm healing some wounds, some emotional problems, I started to say, well, stop. You can't say that to me. If you love me, you have to accept me. And okay, they don't want to accept. She wants me to accept that she has the right to punish me and to pinch me. Okay, I don't want to see her anymore, because that's not nonsense. I am this now. And if you talk bad about Reiki, you are talking that bad about me, because that's my life.
Yeah.
So it's not so easy.
Yeah.
But again, I have, for example, my strength I get from my practice. I have excellent clients, beautiful people. So that's great. That's great.
Beautiful, beautiful. So, so you go along and you're learning some of these classes. You're being part of these groups, and then now Reiki came about in 1998. Was it something you were looking for, or did it just kind of show up?
No, I was just divorced. I felt lonely because I am not from this city. I grew up in 25 kilometers far away from here, and I felt very lonely. So I started to look another group, and I started massage classes, reflexology, and there the teacher told me, why don't you take a Reiki class? and say, oh, well, we can try. Then I liked it. I didn't want to be a teacher, but they insisted, but I didn't want it. But I joined conferences. We went on retire. We did a nice work, but I didn't have my practice. Just when someone asked me, I could lay hands on my kid, my partner, my mother, my father, but nobody else. Mm-hmm. Then it came that as I went to India, and also by chance, it was just a miracle. It was an event in my life, and I didn't want to go. Someone invited me to go, and they say, okay, and I don't know why. They say, Sai Baba has asked you to come, but I am not such a devotee still. Okay, it was a wonderful experience. Over there, everyone used to ask Sai Baba about their spiritual growth. So I said, I have no question for him. Maybe I can ask if Reiki is my spiritual path, if I have to practice that. And, well, we have someone had an accident. I said, well, I know this technique. I can lay on my hands on your knees. And that was like a miracle because the knee was extremely in bad condition. We thought we would have to take him to the hospital, but that with lay on hands, it was excellent. It was great. So I said, well, okay, he must have answered me. Then I had this, again, remember that I knew English, that I could speak to someone else. So I was invited to translate Walter Lübeck classes. Mm-hmm. So I went again to Buenos Aires because of that. But also, I didn't know who he was. I saw that in the, you see in the breaks, people used to bring books and say, please, why don't you sign this book for me? I said, oh, he has written a book. So I said, okay, this man must be very important. Mm-hmm. But I didn't know anything. Mm-hmm. He was excellent with me, great, very generous. And he said, I think you should take the classes with me because you are here, you're part, and you look so enthusiastic with this. And they say, oh no, please, I have been paid for my work. I can't pay you the classes. And he says, no, you're working for me, so I want to give you the classes. Mm. So I said, okay, if you say so, I've loved that. Mm. So I started my Rainbow Reiki path at that time, 2004. Mm-hmm. And then I became an instructor of a class called Healing and Developing the Body of Light. Mm-hmm. Then when he came again in 2006, I became a teacher, first and second degree. Mm-hmm. Then when he came again, 2015, he gave again those classes, but now he had this licensed program. So I became first dan with the new updates. So I am the first here in Argentina. I'm not updated as Spain or Germany, but we are almost updated. We are expecting Walter to come and give new classes. But we have a lot of things to give, to experiment and to try. So it's very, very rich and excellent system. And it has helped me first to heal me. Then I can help the others. But Walter sings a great song called I Am a Circle. And that's my motto. Mm-hmm. I am a circle, I'm healing you. You are a circle, you are healing me. You unite us, be as one. So it's great. That's what I do in my life. I try the tools we get in Rainbow Reiki to heal myself, because I have lots of things, lots of problems. I have suffered a lot, violence, emotional, psychological, from a former boss for many, many years. Mm-hmm. So my self-esteem was terribly down. I used to have lots of problems. So I apply on myself, and then I try on others, and that's great, fantastic, because the energy keeps on growing, and Rainbow Reiki is not so growing so fast here in Argentina, because I live far away from the capital, and also because I was involved with too many things I needed to heal, but my practice is full, and there it works quite fine. I love one-on-one session. I love to teach. That's something I love also. But students say, Maria, are you able to please give us classes? When are you going to give classes? And then I start organizing. No, I don't advertise. I like you see my laboratory. I like to be with someone else, involved in what we're going to do. What do you need? I have this to offer. My practice is very special because I have lots of people, and they keep on going to the practice because they come, for example, because they are suffering from a special illness, and they get well, but they need Reiki. They say, I need to come. I love the way I feel here. I am different out here. My family says I enjoyed life, that I am more open. So they like that thing. They don't understand what they get over there. So they take it as a spiritual path. Not so spiritual, but they say, well, that's great for my life, for my general life. So I have clients, 15 years when I started, they are still coming. And I have people, they come once a week, every week for 7 years. They for example, girls, they get pregnant, they come all pregnancy time, once a week, then they bring the baby. So we are a family. That's great. I love that facet of my practice.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
And I love that you connected up with Walter. So now, were you asked to translate because you had Reiki and you were able to translate for him, or how did you get selected? You don't know?
Yes, I was taking yoga classes.
Okay. Yoga
at
classes.
That time.
Yeah.
So the teacher says, my translator had, because they had invited Walter and they had some letters going and coming. It has a problem. She doesn't want to work with us anymore. I don't know what to do. I didn't say anything because that's not my work. She says, please help me. I know you've been in India and you have told me that you worked over there as a translator. And I couldn't say no because I did that. I was in Bangalore for 20 days. Then a married couple said, listen, Maria, can you come with us for 10 days to the north, to Delhi, Jaipur? Agra. We are going to pay you everything, the plane, hotels, everything. Please come and help us with the language. So I said, okay, I'll go. And that I told everyone, because I was not able to pay that beautiful trip. I was working for that. So I was telling here when I came back that I did that job, that I was in a great palace, translating, and I say, how come that I can translate? That's so easy for me. I didn't know that. I wanted to be a translator, but I couldn't study, so I didn't know how to do that. So she said, you have to help me. So I said, okay, I can go.
Yeah, and it all worked out.
Yes, that was unconscious.
Beautiful. Now, during our pre-interview the other day, you had mentioned it was after a particular Reiki training that your psychic gifts came in. Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
Could you talk about that?
In 2004, when we took Healing and Developing the Body of Light, we worked with some chakras, these energy centers, which are in the aura. So not the principal chakras, but others. So Walter said, start giving sessions to yourself, but don't stop when you start feeling something you don't understand. So I started, and I saw a great figure, white light, beautiful, like an angel. And I say, I can't, I am not ready for this. So I'm very fearful. So I said, I can't do this. I am not prepared to see things yet. But when I was applying this Reiki to other people, it has some symbols that helps with this is called hormonal problems. So I applied to menopause ladies. They came a lot of, at the time I had a lot of ladies, because they tell each other, hey, you can stop that hot stuff with this Reiki, so come and see Maria. She's got these symbols. So I working there. I started to feel, for example, I started to yawn. Then I started to sigh. See, I felt that this lady, for example, had blockage in the emotional place, and I started to have visions. I started to tell them, look, I feel that you are suffering a lot, that you don't want to live anymore. What's happening to you? And I say, how can I say that? I can't. But something urged me to say that. So he said, yes, you are right. I don't want to live. That I feel black. I feel I don't want to. I don't have energies. I don't have anything. And I said, I saw that. So I started to sense other things. Then I took Akashic record readings. And then my psychic abilities developed more. Then I take the second level, where I could read others' Akashic records. So I got a structure there. If I want to know if there's something in someone happening, I will do through this technique. It's okay with Reiki, but I cannot tell people what I see or what I feel. So in that way, because they may be frightened, or they say, oh, what's happening to this lady? She's crazy. And if Reiki was not accepted, it would be worse. If they say, oh, that Reiki is, pay attention, be careful. So I started to shut up, but I started to use that information. So I know where I have to put more symbols, where I have to unblock, where I have to give more energy, where I have to apply, for example, mental healing, how much time I feel everything. I feel, for example, the heat. I feel when it's cold. It stops when I have to go. So that I still get it, but I decided that when people come to Rainbow Reiki healing session, I will do that like that. I will put in action what I sense, but I will be very careful what for example, these messages I get. If they ask, I can say. If they don't ask, I don't say. Then they usually come to Akashic Records, and I tell them everything over there. Over there, that's no problem. But that is something happening inside of me. I'm afraid to open up everything, to open, to be so free. That's still my blockage. But I do in this technique. So I am approaching to it.
Yeah. Now, these specific Rainbow Reiki training classes that you're talking about, are these psychic gifts a product of that training, or is this something that happened with you as you went through the class? Do you know what I mean?
Yes. Rainbow Reiki is special. I think that, for example, my students ask me to be their teacher because they sense that they need something this system has to give them. Because I say, why don't you take another one? Why don't you compare? And they say, no, I know I want this Reiki, and I like you as my teacher. They know. That's I think that maybe I don't want to use special people, but people like me having this sensitivity feel extremely comfortable in Rainbow Reiki. So that's our home. We love that. We feel that's what we want. I knew things were like this. It's not the system that turns us to be like that. It's us that adopt that system and feel excellent. And there's people also needed experience to take a class of Reiki, Rainbow Reiki, and experience is something else. Just like, for example, working with laying hands on, they only that. But if you want to grow in the teaching, you have in first degree so many tools. You have now that it came Marayana Sashi tool. We can give to the 17 positions 20 minutes of Reiki, all of them at the same time. We can add symbols, the symbols we have in each position. We can add portals that those would be if you, for example, have a stomach ache, we can add another symbol, so Reiki can go there specifically for 20 minutes more. We have mantras that we can say, for example, if, as I told you, I have that problem, low self-esteem. If you need to be grounded, if you have problems with aggression, if you have problem with forgiving, with love, with accepting. So we have a lot of things only in first degree. And I know that my students I like this part. I don't understand this, but they want the package. And I have some students that love everything. They are marvelous. They repeat classes because it is a long manual, and they want to master every tool. And they take the second degree. That's fantastic. Second degree is great. We have a tool called Falai Nasai. So we can give a complete healing session for 8 minutes. So I introduced it in my practice. I sit on a chair and I give that treatment also to the client who is lying on the massage table, and they love it because there we can include, for example, if they feel jealous, if they have separated, if they have fears, all those symptoms we can try in that treatment, and all the symbols I have learned are they are available for that person. As you know, of course, maybe someone who is listening about Reiki, it is the client who takes what I put every tool at their service, but it's their self who takes it, and then the self knows where, which is the time to heal, what to heal, how to heal. So I ask them to be patient with themselves, because we know here that there are conscious and unconscious things that can be blocking us from being healed. No? So we have many tools. And what I didn't say is that, I told you that I always feel lonely, that I don't have support, that I don't know where to go. And when I studied Rainbow Reiki, I was included in Rainbow Reiki United States. So they became my family, Rainbow Reiki family. Then there was this Rainbow Reiki Spain. So they also included me there, and they have another organization. They have groups for first degree, second degree, and everything that is included in Rainbow Reiki practice. And they allow me to include also my students, so they are my family also, and I am always thankful with them because they have welcomed me so nicely, and that's why we talk about this Rainbow Reiki family, because we support each other.
That's beautiful. Now, you've had your practice for quite some time, and like you say, a lot of many long-time clients that have been with you for many years. That's beautiful. what sort of efforts are you taking to bring in new clients, and what new clients are coming to you, and where are they coming from?
Yes. I don't advertise. That's maybe a problem because I am not known for public in general, but they tell each other to come. So there is always new people because there is the friend, there is there is something that has helped me a lot. I have clients who are psychologists, for example. So they will recommend their clients. So they are new people for me. Then these clients recommend their sons, their husband, or the wife, or friends, mothers. So I get lots of people from mouth to mouth. We call that recommendation. And nowadays, as you say, there is something, I don't know why it happens, but for example, sometimes there's people coming because they have very important problems, psychological problems, psychiatric problems. Then there is, again, people suffering from cancer, for example, a lot of people. Then it is, and then I've got, for example, beautiful, beautiful children. So I also am able to help these children as nobody could help me at my age. So I treat 4-year-old girls or boys, 6 months, a year and a half, 3 months. So that's beautiful. 10 years old, 15. I have 18. Then you get. I treat a lot of men. Some of my colleagues from practicing other Reikis tell me how do you do, because here there's also that idea. Ladies allow to be healed and to approach to this kind of healing techniques, but men don't. Like, okay, that's not happening to me. That's not my experience, and never has. I have great students also. And I have in my practice, for example, I treated a 60 years old, 84 years old, a man. You may say they don't know new age things, but they like them and they come. So there's no limit. There's no. I have 35 years old, 25. So that's great, and they come and they know things are like this, but the smallest one, when I told you about the children, there's a growing up problem. You see the attention deficit, and they come because they are too stressed. Many things in there. They get many information from outside. That's what my problem is. I get too much information from other people, and I don't understand what to do with that. And others get depressed. They don't know. They want to be good. They want to. Everything is soft, but they suffer. They don't know. So mothers bring them to me. They are beautiful. That's full of love. That's great. And then I have. I took a class on coaching because I had many 3 or 4 years ago. Many people were coming with cancer, suffering from cancer. And as we talk a lot with the people, with the client, I didn't know what to do with their suffering. So I take a coaching class, so to have some tool to help them while they explain to me the situation they are going through. Then I took another class on cancer, on oncology, that's called Pain in Oncology, but that was for palliative care, you see, just in the final phase of the disease. Mm-hmm. And that was a beautiful experience because it was organized by a hospital here in Bahia Blanca, palliative care, that would be the section. Mm-hmm. There were 85 people signed for the class. We took 6 months, once a month, and there were psychologists, doctors, nurses, and then it was me, only me. And I say, I don't know, because we had this, she's a doctor, she's an oncologist, and say, I don't know, what can you put over there, because I do massage, I do Reiki. So the psychologist, the organizer put alternative therapy. Mm-hmm. I was the only one, but they respected me a lot, and they always referring to Reiki all the time, because they say we have to respect the will of the patient. Mm-hmm. And at that moment, if they say they want anything from religion, from whatever it is, to feel happy, we have to allow them to get. And they, signing me to me, they are the ones that can help them at that stage. We can do anything. Mm. So when the class was closed, there were 3 people invited to speak. That would be a great doctor, a lady who was 65 years old, another lady who went to Cuba to learn gym for oncology patients, and they invited me, and I didn't know I would have to speak about Reiki, but it was great that Reiki is accepted. So in some hospitals it's not, some people don't, but it happens to me that I am accepted and I am invited, and as I told you, professionals come and visit me. And that's very important.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Now, why don't you tell, one or a couple of your amazing Reiki stories?
Yes. I have one story. It is not, it is sad, but it is amazing, because I started to treat a lady, 39 years old. She had cancer, liver cancer. She was diagnosed only 6 months to live. She started to come to Reiki. She said, they can't do me chemo because my blood test is not okay. She started with Reiki to be okay with the test. So the oncologist said, what are you doing? I am doing Reiki. Well, do it twice a week. That's helping you. So she had not only 6 months with very good this quality of life, a better life, because she was able to heal a lot of things, but she had 6 more months. So that's the point. That's amazing, because she had 6 more months that she was not the doctors wouldn't. They said, "You're going to die in 6 months." She started. She was great. She had the strength, strong mind, excellent. We had excellent results with her. Then the day she died, she was dying. Her husband told me, you know that I don't like Reiki, but she loved you. Can you come to the hospital, please? She's going to die. So I said, yes, of course I'm going. So when I arrived, I held her hand. She was unconscious, but I felt a lot of energy, love. It was beautiful. And I said, what's happening? She's dying. And I'm feeling full of love, full of energy. What's happening here? And when we were saying goodbye at other level, so that's amazing for me, to be able to help in that situation. And well, she showed me that yes, she loved me, and well, that's the extremely good experience. Then in Rainbow Reiki we have a class called Advanced Metaphysical Healing. We use it when someone has problems with the spine, with the vertebra is moved, or it's down, it's up, it's moved from their place. You have tense muscles, and we talk. There's a technique with the subconscious. Then we have the healing, forgiving process if we need it. And I am applying it from, let's say, 5 months till now. I'm offering it because I started to practice and I applied on myself. In Bahia Blanca, there is one lady that took that class also with Walter. So I applied to her, she applies to me, we study together. So we are practicing this. And we are having spectacular results with that, because you can say that, for example, the vertebra, the prominent vertebra is like this in a body. As I do massage, I have many clients for that. It's like that, and I talk to the subconscious and apply the technique, and it comes to place. They don't have headaches anymore. They don't have neck pain. That's magic. That's extremely wonderful. Then this forgive technique, I applied in a girl who was sexually abused, and she had a problem in the skin, extremely bad problem, and she says it is light. The color is lighter. It is healing. I can't believe that. I can talk to my mother. I can talk what happened. So we have many extremely nice healings. And 108 old little lady, she had a problem with her right side, and she looked at suffering a lot, and I applied Reiki. She loved that. She went, and she started to wake up. She started to be like new. So that's also wonderful, because she came twice. You know that kids don't need so much, but that change I saw and heard, it was wonderful. But I have many.
Yeah. Now your son is into Reiki as well, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
He took his first level when he was 15 with a friend of mine, because I was not a master. And then he took with me at the age of 18. he repeated several times the classes, because when I was teaching, he came. And then when Walter Lübeck came in 2015, he took the levels with him. So now he's my partner, not my student anymore. So we share a lot of teaching. I asked him, because as I was translating classes, I lost many information. So I said, what do you think about this? What did Walter say? What do you advise me to do? So he has a different, of course, he's another person. He feels things, he senses, but he knows how to manage that. That's okay for him. That's great.
Beautiful.
Yes.
So, what have you got going on for the remainder of the year, and what are your plans going into the new year coming up?
I have some students waiting for me here in Bahía Blanca, so I have to organize those classes. And then I have also students in Buenos Aires that are waiting for me. And I took an update through internet with Walter. So my former partners need to be updated. So they also are waiting for me to give them these updates. And next year, I don't know. I'm not planning anything different. I plan to, as I told you, to always heal myself and start going on and grow up. And I hope I can expand Rainbow Reiki in a different way, that I get more energy to be involved in the classes or advertising, because I'm very shy. So I don't like me to, with a picture, come to my classes, I can't. So this interview for me is quite special. That's why I am not so known, because I'm quite shy.
Yeah. Well, it's really beautiful what you're doing there, and certainly having a long-standing business. Like you say, a lot of business comes word of mouth. You do have your website, and the link is on the post for your website for Rainbow Reiki Argentina, and also for your personal Facebook page.
Okay.
That's all in the post there, so people can find you. And
thank you very much.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you have any final thoughts that you'd like to share with our audience?
Yes. I discovered that we have to aim always to be happy and to be healthy, and that we are all part of one, and there are no differences, that no matter which country, which language we speak, with the color of our skin or our hair is, we join. There's something greater that is showing in us, and we are here for something, to know, to learn, and to help others. So that I always say, focus on light, on always in good things, and being better, and loving, and comprehend the other one always, and also take care of yourself. No, of course, put limits, but yes, with love always.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much, Maria. I really appreciate you being on our show tonight. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Namaste.
Namaste, and thank you everyone for watching. We have a beautiful live audience, lots of lively comments. Maria will get to those comments when she can, as will I. Join us next Thursday, 6 p.m. Pacific, for episode 41 of Reiki Currents. Blessings and namaste.
Amen.